Welcome back to your
Second.
favorite sports podcast. We are here with our first episode of the new year, 2021. We were supposed to bring you an episode last week, but Trent was feeling a little under the weather. And if
I
you can't
was.
bring 100% of yourself, don't hurt the team. You know, he's a team player. He knew if he couldn't bring 100% to the people, to the pod, that we should forego, let him get his rest, get to full health. And now look at him. He's the image of health. Look at this.
Feel great, guys. Feel great.
And we're back. First episode of 2021. Before we jump into everything, youtube.com/second favorite sports, soundcloud.com/second favorite sports, and at second favorite sports on Instagram. If you aren't following all those, checking all those out already, definitely go do that. Now that that's done, for the first time in 2021, there's a couple things that happened that I need to talk about. I think we need to talk about, even if it's just briefly.
Mhm.
First thing is this whole thing. For those that don't know, the Eagles played a game against the
did.
Washington football team. And in that game, should the Eagles have won it and Washington lost, the Giants would have been in the playoffs, the New York football Giants, and the Redskins, or formerly the Redskins, the Washington football team, would have been out of the playoffs. And what wound up happening is the Eagles pulled their starting quarterback
Mhm.
and started and put in there basically their third string quarterback, who is
Nate
uh,
Stuffeldt.
shouldn't be on a team probably. And they lost the game. Washington goes to the playoffs, and there's Giants fans are understandably, but also being typical Giants fans, irrationally upset. Really, you're 6-10. You don't deserve to go to the playoffs, but that's a whole nother thing. But what I wanted to ask you is, there's video out there of Jalen Hurts clearly upset with what's going on.
Mhm.
Jalen Hurts, the starting quarterback for the Eagles, who got pulled from the game, basically in an attempt to throw the game and get a better draft pick.
It's crazy to say.
Like, you can't tell me that was to preserve Jalen Hurts' health. He's a
No.
rookie quarterback, and it's the last 2 quarters of the season. So you can't tell me that. So it was to get a better draft pick. It's clear that Jalen Hurts was bothered by it. There's a video where you can clearly read his lips. He's shaking his head, and he goes, "This ain't right." You literally see him say the words,
Wow.
"This ain't right." So my question is, what if you were in this scenario? What if you're Jalen Hurts? Like, how do you feel about this? Your team is very clearly throwing a game by pulling you and other star players out of the game.
He had the absolute perfect reaction,
Mm-hmm.
especially as a competitor at that level, especially his story. If you know the Jalen Hurts story, it's just adversity after adversity. Like going to Alabama, earning a starting job, going being what is it? I think he was SEC Freshman of the Year, going to the national championship as a freshman, um, getting to the national championship, losing to Deshaun Watson with like 30 seconds left. I think everybody remembers that play, and him in the national championship. Tua comes in, takes his spot. He has to transfer. And then he goes to Oklahoma and balls out. It's just he's always said, okay, like doubt me and I'll be all right. So for a guy like him to have to come out of a game and know what's going on and understand what it is, and then to have that reaction and people see it, I think it was perfect. It was absolutely perfect for him. He wants to win. He wants to win. Yeah. And he knows what's going on, and it's a shame. I'm glad people saw it, and I'm glad they saw his reaction, because I know a bunch of people that would have said, it's the last game anyway, and let me ship the cars home and chill out, and let me go sit on the bench and relax. You could tell he wanted to play so bad.
I forget, someone kept making a reference. I forget what game it was that I was watching, but someone kept making a reference that it was the Detroit game. Whoever was calling it kept saying the Detroit defense was on a beach somewhere. Like, in their minds, they were on a beach somewhere.
Absolutely.
Jalen Hurts is not that dude.
No, not at all.
And I agree with you. I think it was the perfect. He wasn't over the top. He wasn't embarrassing his coach or his team, out there to make a show of himself. But also, he wasn't going to hide the fact that he's a competitor and he wants to play and he
And I
wants to win.
and I also think him saying, "Man, this ain't right, man," is perfect.
Yeah.
He didn't say this is some BS.
Yep.
He didn't say F this. He literally said in the like most calm way, man,
Yep.
this ain't right, man. Like I felt that. I really did. I felt it more that he was calm in saying it, and you could tell by the way he looked on his face than him if he was throwing water bottles and flipping
Yes.
chairs. And it would have been like, all right, like relax, like we get it, you know what I mean? But him saying it the way he said it, it was so Jalen Hurts to him to say because that's just how he handles everything. It's like, man, like we could be better, or like we still got a lot to do and a lot more things in areas to get better at. But for him, the way he said it was perfect. Perfect.
And now let me ask you this too: if you're him, like, because I thought about this, how do you respect the organization you play for and the coach you're playing for, which they're not going to get rid of?
Mhm.
Peterson's going to stay around, which I understand. He won you a Super Bowl just 2 years ago.
Yep.
But how do you feel? Like, how does that make you feel about your coach and your organization going forward? That they would throw a game like that, It's kind of it to me. It's I don't know. It signals to me like a do anything we need to type of move. And if I'm a young player who hasn't locked up my money and whatever, and has been left out in the cold before, like Jalen Hurts has, I'm like, these guys are cutthroat. And I mean, everybody is to a degree in the league,
Mhm.
but these guys are so cutthroat. Like, they'll throw a game for
I
a
know,
draft
bro.
pick.
I know. And it wasn't like you were going from 9 to 1. It was like
Yeah.
going to 3 spots, which make a difference. But like it's still like, really? And players should feel that way for sure. Organizations, I guess they're looking for at the whole picture. And that game was inconsequential to what they were trying to do as far as build. But as a player, yeah, I can. And for me, a little bit of me tells me like, whenever a coach is safe after a move like that, that shows me like he wasn't necessarily the head of this decision. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yep.
Because it's like, all right, like I'm safe, so I could pull this move off. If Doug Peterson wasn't safe and he did this, you could tell he was probably trying to sabotage something, or it wouldn't make sense if he was on the hot seat.
Yeah. Because you're coaching to save your life.
Yeah. Like this is obviously I'm coming back next year. This is an organizational thing, and hey, Doug, you're gonna have to wear this. That's what they told him.
Yeah.
You're
Yep.
gonna have to wear this, but you're gonna wear it because we're gonna pay you for next year because you're coming back. Like you're gonna wear this because you have a job next year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's what comes with having a job next year after a season that you had, and that you're gonna have to wear this on the chin and answer all these questions about taking out your starter in the fourth quarter of a game that you were close to winning. But yeah, all the players should be tight, all of them.
Yeah, and I'm sure most of them are.
And like to look at that team, they're in a tough spot right now. To be honest, like they won the Super Bowl 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4? Was it 4?
No, not 4.
2017.
3 years ago.
Well, 2021 would be what?
Well, no, could it have been that long ago? No, it's 3 years ago. I feel like
Was it 2017 or 2018?
because it was Chiefs, but then before that was
Pats.
Pats, and then it was Eagles, wasn't it? Or am I forgetting a team in between that? I'm pretty sure that's how it broke down. The last 3 Super Bowl winners. It was Eagles, Pats, then Eagles, then Pats, Falcons, and then oh no. Oh no. Am I forgetting? When was that Pats Falcons before or after the Eagles?
I think it was before the Eagles.
Okay, so then that would make sense. So because then you had Pats Rams was the last Pats Super Bowl win.
Yes, it was. So it was in between the both Pats Super Bowls.
Yes.
Which is crazy to say. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. And they were in it all 3 years, and that's a whole nother thing for a whole nother time. But But yeah, I think you're spot on. I think we're in total agreement. I think most people would be, unless you're a Philly fan who, just got a higher pick. So
Exactly.
I can't blame them for that. But
Not at all.
my other little quick current event type thing is, I don't know if you saw in the Phoenix Suns Clippers game the other night, things got a little chippy between Paul George and Devin Booker.
Really,
I don't know if you caught that. Did you
I
catch
didn't
any of
catch it
this?
at all.
Okay, so Paul George went off, by the way. I mean, he was not missing.
Mm,
Um, and something happened. There was an exchange at one point. George gets fouled by, I can't remember which guy on the Suns it was, but it wasn't even Booker. But he got fouled and the dude fell on him and it wasn't intentional. And George gets up and starts jawing at him. And then Devin Booker comes across the court just to kind of like help his guy up and like say something to Paul George. And whatever he said to Paul George set him off.
really?
He starts screaming at him. He's going after him. They had to be separated. People are out on the court. Now, nothing crazy happened. Nobody's throwing punches, but there was some smack talk. And Paul George was saying, he just kept saying, "Watch your mouth, watch your mouth." And Devin Booker was yelling across the court. Now I'm laughing because I think it's funny, and I know this is what set Paul off. But he kept calling him a man. How can I say this and keep it PG? Well,
PG.
he
That's
used
good.
a word that I don't think anybody should ever use. A derogatory term that is sometimes not a derogatory term.
Mm.
And you know what word I'm talking about? Do we know what word I'm talking about?
I feel like I'm picking up what you're putting down, but I'm not sure.
It's a racial term. Put it that way.
Ooh,
So
okay.
he used that word, but in front of it he called him a soft, eh, eh.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay. So
I know
I'll
exactly
let
what
you
you're talking
fill the blanks with whatever you want to fill the blanks with. He called him soft, but he used a couple words that are unsavory.
Yes.
Now, my whole point of this story is I saw a couple takes on social media and whatnot that people didn't like. I saw I saw a tweet where someone said, "Man, I really liked Devin Booker before all this, but that kind of behavior, I'm not a fan of him anymore."
Really?
And I was like, that's interesting. And I wanted to get your thoughts on that. It got me thinking about like how easily a fan can be turned off by something that to me was funny. Like it was a funny comment to me.
Yeah.
Now he used a word that, like I said, I don't think anybody should be using ever just because of its,
Because of the nature of the word.
yes, the nature of the word, historical implications, all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was really the root of this person's comment. I don't think it was the word that came before that, the word in between soft and that word. Like it's
Yeah.
not that bad a word,
No.
but I think it was really that last.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, to me, I like seeing guys get chippy. I like a little trash talk. But this guy's point was, what if there was a child watching the game? Devin Booker's his favorite player, and now he thinks that that's okay to go and say.
Listen.
But
This is how I take whenever somebody says something along those lines. I'm like, it's not Devin Booker's job to explain to your child you can't say that word.
yep,
You know what I mean? Like, if that happens, I can't blame him for doing something on TV. Like he's playing in his element. I think of basketball for basketball players, some of them as like a meditative state.
mm-hmm.
I think we were talking about meditation before we started talking on the episode. And whatever they say on that court, I can't say anything. Like they're in their zone.
Yep,
And so things get said in a heat of battle, which is what that is.
yes.
Um,
And this wasn't even that bad.
no, there's worse things
There's
that
so much worse things.
so much.
I mean, yeah.
There's so much. And I think the NBA wants the audio experience. Like I enjoy hearing, the cadences from the quarterbacks and
Mhm.
them changing stuff at the line. And now with no fans, you're getting like the live mics and you're hearing people really talk, like coaches
Yeah.
talk, and Doc Rivers is screaming because you could hear it from his voice and it's deep.
Yeah.
But like, if the NBA is going to do that, they know that these guys say stuff
Yep.
that's not savory. They would never repeat to kids and all that.
And by the way, nothing got picked up on a microphone. You
You
didn't
could just
hear him say
you
anything.
could see them though.
Oh, you could read his lips
Mhm.
real easy. You knew exactly what he said.
Mm-hmm.
To me, look, it's not Devin Booker's job to parent your kid
No.
and tell them not to say bad words. And I don't think it's indicative of Devin Booker's moral compass and character, right?
Not
That
at all.
he used some foul language. Because, by the way, I'm sure this dude who sent this tweet has used some foul language himself.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
you know, I think overblown, and I liked it. I don't look. It's real life, man. Like, people cuss, people say stuff, people talk smack. Like, this is life.
And everybody always talks about how they want the real too. That's the thing. I tell you
Yeah.
the real, and then you judge me, and now I'm the bad guy. Like, nah, you wanted this. You actually want this. You
Yeah.
want me to talk crazy to him while you're being entertained, because this is what entertainment is. Like,
Because
we
it
like
was
it.
great. Yeah, it was great
was
stuff. They're
fantastic.
being separated. He's calling him soft. He's getting angry. And then Paul George continued to just keep dropping buckets after that, by the way. So
Oh, of
it just
course.
made the game that much more exciting.
Absolutely.
To me, I got no problem with it. I liked it.
Get off. Everybody got to get off their moral high ground with these athletes, man. Like,
Yeah.
they
They're
do
people.
a job. They're people. They just they make a lot of money doing something that you would do for free. You know.
Now, I'll say when you reach a certain level of fame and you have a certain platform, you do have a somewhat of a duty to use that platform
Absolutely.
properly and to but there's a scale to it. You know what I'm saying?
I don't need him to carry himself to the point on the field where I'm like, I am a role model. I can't act like this on the field. He does
Right.
it through his actions off the field. What are you doing for the community?
Yes.
If that's what he's doing, and then on a court he curses somebody out, it's because he's like, I think people forget, like you said, these are human beings.
Yep.
They have emotions and they work really hard and they just heat a battle. I know people that curse like sailors playing pickup.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So
There's always that dude at the gym that screams after he misses or something.
crazy.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's how I look at it. Like, that's their place of work, and I can't judge them for anything they do in their place of work.
Yeah.
Everything off of it,
Unless it's like
egregious.
something heinous. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, if he strikes somebody or hits somebody in the mouth, but it never gets to that.
No.
It's
And
like,
this was
all right,
harmless. Yo, they didn't even
harmless.
get near each other.
Absolutely.
It was, to me, it's all fun. And like, listen, man, this is probably the same dude who like misses old school ball when Gary Payton and Michael Jordan used to talk so wild to people.
Oh my gosh, go look up
So wild.
Go look up one of them games.
Oh my God. Read some of the stories about things that Michael Jordan used to say to people on the court. Okay.
Come on.
But that same dude that's like, I'm not a fan of Devin Booker. I'm telling my kids not to root for Devin Booker. Loves MJ.
What Devin Booker said, like, compared to Mike, it's like Sesame Street.
Yeah.
Like Blue's
For
Clues.
real.
You know what I mean? Like, stop. Like, your kid, like, that comes on a daytime. what Devin Booker said compared to Mike.
Oof. But all right, good. All right. So now we can get into the real the meat of the episode. Oh, that's maybe I won't call it that. The heart of the episode here.
That was good.
And then after we talk about this, we are going to talk about some like future of the pod and things we have planned for this year. So definitely stay tuned after our resolutions and all that to hear all that good stuff that we're going to have going on. But we both have some resolutions for the new year, and then we have some things that we want to leave in 2020 and things we want to see more of in 2021. But Trent, why don't you start off with give us a resolution? What's a resolution heading into this new year?
So for me, man, like, a resolution for me for 2021 that I can't wait to do actually is to really golf more, man. Like
I feel you.
me and my brother picked it up during the quarantine. I used to golf when I was young.
Mm.
Um, but I stopped and just focused on baseball and basketball and just did other things. And then I was like, during the quarantine, like first, probably like the first month of it, I was like I gotta do something that I gotta get outside and get active, but like I can't be around anybody. And golf is perfect for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we picked it up, and I love it. It is just, I get why people love golfing because it is just the best.
It's
It
also one of the most frustrating games in the world.
is. It
Okay.
is.
There have been times where I wanted to snap that club over my knee.
Oh my gosh, definitely.
But that's honestly would be one of mine, really. I didn't play at all last year. And you're talking to a guy who I played in high school. I was on a team.
Oh, word?
I used to play a lot of golf. Yeah, I was the last dude off the bench. I come in when we're winning or losing by, 40 points, if this is basketball or something.
Mm-hmm.
But
But we gotta go shoot around, man.
hell yeah.
I'm mad I didn't notice. Actually, we've been doing this pod for a minute.
I
Didn't even
know.
golf at like a high level.
High level is
High
is just
level.
especially now after literally not swinging a club last year. God
Mm.
knows what I look like. I'm probably a mess. I probably look like Charles Barkley out there.
Charles Barkley is a whole mess. On the
Oh
golf.
yeah. All right. One of my resolutions. Let me pull mine up right here. Actually, it goes in with what you're saying. I want to play more sports myself. Like I want to. I used to play sports all the time, man. Even
Mhm.
like just a couple of years ago, used to get together with friends and hoop or just do whatever. Like there was always a ball involved. There always something going on. I definitely want to try and get back to that and in a safe way. Like I got a hoop right outside my place. I got a
Mhm.
ball. I got no excuse really. I used to love. I mean, I love playing basketball. That's probably my favorite sport to play. I would love to, and I got kicks specifically for playing ball in, like
Of course.
that are just collecting dust right now.
Now, would you do a league when it like clears up out here?
I have to get back to my. I got to look. I'm not gonna gas myself, okay? But I got a pretty good shot.
You can shoot it.
I'm a classic white dude on the court. Like I can shoot a three and I can play defense. I'm a 3-and-D guy. This is what, this is what us white boys do. Like
Oh, I love it.
I would compare myself to like the play style of a
Mike Dunleavy Jr.
yeah, right. Now we're talking that's my wheelhouse.
That's where
I miss
I love
that.
it.
I
I
definitely
love it.
in case you can't tell, I miss playing. So that's a resolution of mine. Get back
I
on the
feel
court.
you. Get on the court, man.
Got to do it in a safe way, of course.
Of course.
What else you got?
So for me, I really want to, and you guys actually inspired this. I want to get out into nature, man. I know you really get out, and go on the hikes for sure, man. Like, I want to hit like the trails and, um, the national, like the parks, state parks and national
Mhm.
parks. There's a bunch here in Jersey. That's the thing. Like, my mother,
This whole area is great.
yeah, like, especially up like, I don't know. I guess you guys are close, like, West Point. No, West Point
Mhm.
is nice.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful, and there's a lot of different places. There's a lot of places that are super popular, and especially now you want to be safe and not be around too many. But like there, you want to talk about an activity where you don't have to be near people.
Exactly.
Just go get out in nature, get on a trail, and you could keep plenty of distance.
Absolutely. So that's something I really want to do because, I enjoy walking and being outside and getting
Hmm.
exercise. It's just, I want to switch it up. You know what I mean? I want to
Yeah.
like you said, get into nature because, being, I gotta need the air. That's really what it is. That clean air up there in
I-
that field. It's not like nature, man. It really like balances you for sure.
Yeah, when you see something real, like when you do a nice hike and you reach a peak and you
Hmm.
see something really beautiful, it just makes you appreciate the hard work you just put in to get there,
Absolutely.
that much more. So there's a lot that goes into hiking and stuff. I mean, I understand it obviously because I do it, but I can understand people who go like take it even farther and go to higher heights and push themselves because that feeling of accomplishment and also appreciation of like just the natural beauty of the world.
Absolutely.
That combination is something you really only find in nature. It's
For
nice.
sure.
That's a
For
good
sure.
resolution.
Yeah, definitely.
Mine, I'd like to watch games more casually.
Mm,
I feel like I usually watch a game and I have a rooting interest of some sort, whether it's I'm rooting against someone, for someone, I like a player, I like the team. I'd like to just watch games just to watch a game, just to enjoy the sport, no matter what sport it is.
absolutely.
Like no fantasy sports implications, no my team or whatever. Just throw a game on, throw a basketball game on, throw a baseball game on, and just watch and enjoy the talent. Because
Yes.
I feel like the people who do that enjoy watching sports so much more. It's so stress free. I love that.
Yes. Absolutely. Like for me, I always end up rooting for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I'll try to watch a game and there'll be somebody I don't like on somebody's team, and I'm like, all right, like it's rare I don't like have a rooting interest in some way at the end of this game. But I try to. Like for me, that's why I like golf, like watching
Mm-hmm.
golf or watching tennis, and even tennis sometimes. Like if it's somebody you like, but golf for sure. And then like um, college basketball is easy to do that for because I don't like if my team's not playing, I'm not really rooting for anybody, you know.
Yeah.
Same thing with college football as well. I may like a certain players, but I don't necessarily like schools in college football, you know.
Right.
But yeah, as far as pros, yeah, I could sit back like if you told me, Dame is playing James, I could really watch that and be like, yeah, like let's enjoy this. You
Right.
know what I mean? Let me sit down and enjoy this. Um,
I'd like to
'Cause
do it more with baseball too. I think
yeah,
just throw a game on
baseball's fun like
because
that.
yeah, like throw a game on just because like Juan Soto's playing and
Hmm.
just like go and not be necessarily rooting for Juan Soto, but just go and like appreciate the talent, and like
Yes,
just enjoy the sport for what it is and not be pissed because of a bad call or because of a strikeout or whatever.
absolutely.
All right, what else you got? Resolutions. You got this is number 3 for you?
Yeah, number three, my last one. Meditate. Meditation. Like
Ooh, I like that.
I used to meditate a little bit, nothing crazy back in the day. I guess back in the day is what when I was in college.
Mm-hmm.
We're going on 5 years out of college, so it's been a minute since I really meditated. Um, and I just want to like really try to focus and center. There's a lot of noise like in the world we live in, man. Like it's just you're always constantly like either picking up the phone, listening to like I found myself like, and I think that's the good thing about like screen time, knowing like how
Mm-hmm.
long you're looking at your phone. But there was a moment I really like got a chance to really feel it. You know, I might have. I'll wake up, go to Instagram, then I'll look at Twitter, then I'll go to YouTube, and then I'll see what podcast came out, and I'm not even out of bed yet. And it's like,
Yeah.
yo, calm yourself down, like relax, focus. And I really believe because I know people that meditate and they are able to like block out a lot of noise, and I think they're healthier for it. You know what I mean? Like
For sure.
they're definitely healthier. Their mental state's better. They sleep better. They breathe better. Everything about it because they're not focused on a lot of things. Um, and it's just a better way of life. So that's what I'm working on it. Like tonight, like I'm gonna try tonight. I'll give you all update next pod.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, for sure.
But I like that. I think I would struggle with that. I
I
think
feel you.
I my my head is loud. Like
Mhm.
the world is loud, but my head is loud too. I got so much always swirling, but I think I'm pretty good at focusing. So like
Mhm.
if I put my mind to it to focus on not focusing almost, like to focus on clearing my mind, I think I
Mhm.
could do it, but it would definitely be a challenge. But
I
I
feel you.
like that resolution. I like that a lot. Kind of slowing the world down a little bit.
Exactly.
My last resolution is something again I used to do a lot and I don't do anymore, and there's obvious reasons for it, but I want to host more game nights. And I don't mean game nights like playing board games. I mean watching the game.
I love it. I love it.
Back in high school, man, and there's some folks that listen to this pod and that will remember this. Like I used to host game nights once a week. I used to
Hmm.
have people at the crib watching whatever NBA game was on or whatever. I used to do fight nights all the time. And it was a blast. Like you just sit around, we would laugh hysterical, barely be watching the game, honestly, but you would like look anytime something crazy happened, like a big
Mhm,
dunk or whatever.
mhm.
It was just a good excuse to gather with people. Now I understand you're not shouldn't be doing that necessarily right now, but if there is a safe way, especially once the weather gets nicer, to maybe do it outdoors or whatever,
Yeah, man, absolutely, absolutely.
it's something I'd like to do. It just used to be so fun. It's a great excuse to get people together to throw a game on. And it goes to my other resolution of more casual viewership because that
Mhm.
was the epitome of it. Like we used to just have it on and you would just enjoy like a play here or there. You really
Mhm.
weren't paying too much attention to what was going on. And it's a fun way to watch a game and hang out with people.
Absolutely, I'm down with that. I'm
Yeah.
down with that. Like, especially if you do the projector. Like, we had the projector at my house, and we did. I think one of these like before when baseball wasn't starting, like when they weren't playing baseball. I think we went back and watched like the wild card game from 3 years ago, 2017,
I
for the
like that.
Yankees Twins. Was sat in the backyard and watched it like before baseball season started just to get in the mode, and it was great. It was perfect. And those are the things like having people come watch is fantastic.
Yeah, it's something I want to get back to, especially once things start to get back to normal and we start to feel safer gathering together. It's definitely something I want to get back to doing.
Hmm.
All right, so now we've each given our resolutions, but there are some things that we want to leave behind in 2020. We don't need to bring these things into 2020. Do you want to start? You want me to start?
I'll start, man. I got a
All
good
right, what
one
you
too.
got? What do
I
you
got a
what
good
are we
one.
leaving in 2020?
2020. I am asking to leave. I think your favorite and mine. I guess Larsa Pippen in 2020. Just leave her there. Leave her there. And it's all love. Larsa is beautiful. She has a great family. Shout out to Scotty. Um, is it a shout out to Scotty though?
Is it?
Is it though? He might be
I
going
you
through
s- you said that and I was like, I don't know about that.
it. Well, Scotty, we said in our love.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good way to
It's
put it.
tough. It got to be tough watching her walk around with these young guys and still have the last name Pippen and be married to you. Like,
Yeah.
and you just taking it on the chin like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know if we need to leave her or just these storylines
Mm,
about her.
yeah.
Like,
Let's not leave her. Let's leave the Larsa Pippen storylines in there.
yeah, yeah,
Let's do
yeah.
that
Like,
because Larsa Pippen's great. She's great.
right. Let's
Um,
just let's let her live
let's let her
and leave
live.
all that
And she may
back
want that
there.
too. Honestly, she may have said, "Hey, let's leave the storylines to 2020."
That might be on her list.
But my favorites. Do you want to talk about my favorite storyline? It is not the Malik Beasley one. It's not Future. It's not Tristan Thompson. Just to name a few. It's
Just a
the
few.
it's the Bronny shot on IG. Yes, guys. Not Big Bronny, not the king himself, but baby Bron. Okay? The 16-year-old sophomore at Sierra Canyon. He hit her up. He hit her up, guys. Can you
Firing
believe that?
shots.
Shots at Larsa Pippen? She's definitely old enough to be his mother.
That's
That's
definitely that's the moment where she put it on her list too to leave it in 2020. That was it right there. She
sure.
was like, "Oh yeah, no, we can leave this here."
She has to be telling herself, "Am I doing too much? That I got
Yeah,
I got baby Bron hitting me on IG.
that's the as they call it, like that's the come to Jesus moment.
It's
That's it
got to
right
be.
there.
It's got to be. Like the audacity that Lil Bron has to do that is incredible to me. Like that's just NBA confidence. That's what I call that.
Yeah,
So he's going to be fine. We all know he's going to be fine in the league when he wherever team he plays for. Him and his daddy are going to play for some team together. It might be the Magic. What if he gets drafted by the Magic? And then 45-year-old Bron comes.
I
You know what I mean?
mean,
You're gonna take him. You're taking
yeah,
Big Bron.
of course, yeah,
What a like a spectacle.
yeah, exactly. If for nothing else, then it'll make for good TV.
Like AARP Bron and 19-year-old Bronny are playing on the Orlando Magic in 20. What is that? 2026.
Hey, I'll take it. I'll take AARP Bron over probably half the league.
Oh, for sure. Is AARP Bron, not to get off track here, AARP Bron, is that like top 10 still? That's a top 10 player, right?
Uh, how old you say? 40, 40.
What's he, 36? That's going to be 2026 is 4 years from now.
So before
Bronny's going to be like 19. So yeah, what, he's going to be like 42, 41?
I'd say LeBron at 40 is I'm going to say a top 15 player. I don't think he's a top 10. I think he's a top 15 player.
15. Yeah.
Those knees can only handle so much impact. He's a big
that's
dude.
True. He's a big guy. That's true. But there'll be a Magic uniforms, and I think it's gonna be exciting. You got to get the Bronny jersey, right? No,
Look,
no jerseys, no
if
jerseys,
no jerseys.
no
Yes,
jerseys,
we talked
no
about
jerseys.
this.
Let me stop. You're gonna get the. I don't know what Orlando Magic throwback they're gonna have at that point, but
Yeah,
you got to
Maybe
get
we'll-
the Bronny throwback.
maybe we'll finally get by 2026. We'll finally have the jerseys with the stars back
Yeah.
on them
And realize that that's the best jersey that y'all ever had.
for real.
So, but yeah, so leave the Larsa Pippen headlines, leave them in 2020. Let's bring Larsa Pippen into 21, and let's just go from there and see what happens.
All right, now why don't you give us something you want to see more of in 2021?
What I want to see more of, I want to see more. Hey, I'm coming home, like the song, whatever the song that played,
The P Diddy song.
Yes. the Last Train to Paris song. Like, play the music, have them come out the tunnel, real mellow style, and like, I'm coming home. I'm doing it for my city. I grew up around the corner from the block, like all that. You know what I mean? So for me, that's like, and did he really come home though, Mello?
No, absolutely
from
not.
Baltimore.
Yep, he's from Baltimore.
He didn't come home.
I remember that moment so clearly, and it was awesome. Okay, it was really cool. I remember watching.
It was a great
game.
moment. It was a great moment.
The little tribute with the quotes and all this stuff is cool. But then I remember sitting there going, he's from Baltimore, y'all. Like, this is not coming home. Like, this is not.
Man, we'll make up any narrative possible, won't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
But the true homecoming stuff is awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm with you on that. I love it. Like, for example, the Yankees signed Andrew Velasquez, who is from the Bronx.
Fordham Prep zone, guys.
Fordham Prep alum.
Mm-hmm.
Signed him to a minor league contract. You gotta love the team in the Bronx signing the kid from the Bronx. It's great. And shout out to him. Shout out to him. Well deserved. And hope he gets an opportunity because, like you just said, we love these stories. It's great.
It's incredible stuff. Like, it's incredible seeing, and I guess you could say like a Marcus Stroman on a lower level. You don't see it a lot in football. I don't think people care about coming home to their favorite team in football.
Yeah.
But like stories like the baseball, like the Yankee story is real. Like, that's a real story because those, people grow up on that. And so, yeah, I want more of that. Give me more of those stories. What's the next big one you think?
It's just so, like, it makes it that much easier to root for a kid.
Yeah.
Or a guy or whatever, when they're like one of you,
like my favorite come home story that I think should be talked about more is the Dwayne Bacon coming back to Central Florida. Plays for the Magic.
I mean, the Magic love their Florida basketball talent. They really do.
Lakeland's own D Bacon, as I like to call him, Bake himself.
Oh, you gotta hear the Magic broadcast. How many cooking references they make, sizzling.
Oh, they probably wear that out.
Yeah, they go crazy with it.
But no, the book's got to be written on a Dwayne Bacon homecoming to Lakeland, Orange County. Is that Orange County down there? That is, right?
Yeah.
Orange County, Central Florida, which gets cold. I don't think people know. Like, you assume it's Florida and it's nice weather, but man, it gets to like the 40s in Orlando. Do people know that?
Well, hey, even when it gets that cold, the bacon's sizzling. You know what I'm saying? See, that's the kind of puns that they bring.
The bacon sizzling.
These are the kind. This is what I have to hear every Orlando Magic game. At least one of those.
Oh
At
man,
least one of those.
you got the best mascot though. I love your mascot.
Oh, stuff is awesome.
Yeah, first of all, Magic stuff. Like stuff it being your name is crazy.
It's great. He wears a mask over his little the little holes
Does
on
he?
his face.
Is he
Yeah.
on skates still? He does still ride some skates and stuff.
He does all kinds of stuff. Last night he was up in the rafters, like with a I don't even know, with a rocket launcher, shooting t-shirts. It was wild.
To who? Who's he shooting to?
There's
Oh
people
no,
there. It's
there's
Florida.
fans. I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot where I was. I forgot. Magic
Mhm.
stuff is on.
We're
on
like
roller-
half full or whatever it is, a third full. There's people there.
Would you go to a Magic game right now? Free tickets. And they're playing well too.
I probably would go, yeah.
You would go, right?
Yeah, I'd go.
yeah.
I'd
You
go.
don't gotta talk to nobody.
No,
You don't gotta talk to nobody.
I'd go. Yeah. All right. It's me now, right? I got to
Yep,
do
yep.
something I'd leave, something I want to see more of. Something I would leave in 2020 is umpires behind the plate.
Talk about
I'm
it.
good. I'm
I'm
good.
good.
Bring
good.
in the robots. That's it.
I
I'm
feel you.
cool. Whatever that little thing on Fox says, the little box.
Yeah.
Let's go with that. I'm
So
okay with
K-Zone.
that.
I'm fine with K-Zone.
Yeah. I can leave umpires. I don't need these old men deciding games anymore. I don't need it. We have the technology. We're so far past this.
And I see it. This is me, right? So I can see in a world, right? In a world. I see you have the field umpires behind first and third. You got the one in shallow or that comes into the middle of the field. So you're 3 umpires or 6, whatever it is. And then you have a speaker, right? You have a speaker behind home plate that just does the strike call.
Yep.
Strike
Yep.
or a little outside or whatever it is. That's all you need. You don't need somebody standing behind you doing that. Just give me the speaker.
Yeah.
So if it hits the strike zone, it's automated strike. You know what I mean?
That's it.
Or if it's a ball, little outside, that one's up.
I could even see them putting a guy behind home plate with an earpiece, just in case something malfunctions. You have him there. Or if there's something else going on, because there's plays at the plate and whatever that he might need to be there for. But give me a guy behind the plate with just an earpiece. You don't make calls. You just get them in your ear and then you say what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like it comes into you, strike, strike. Comes into you, ball, ball. Like you just say what you hear in your ear, and that's your
Gotcha.
job.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sure there would be some things where like you can't have it purely robotic, but nonetheless, I don't need it. We can leave, and I don't mean to put people out of a job. I know this is the thing people fear, like robots taking jobs and all that. But this is one where I'm down with it. I'm cool with it.
Yeah. Games would just be cleaner, I feel.
Yeah. It's ridiculous that we haven't advanced this yet.
Yeah.
Like, how have we not? We're still doing it the way we did it when the game was invented. What are we doing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And something I'd like to see more of in 2021 is, I'll stick with baseball. I'd like to see more Fernando Tatises.
Oh, for sure.
And what I mean by that is I'd like to see more Fernando Tatis, but
yes,
I would like to see more dudes like that. Energy,
Definitely.
Enthusiasm, youth, not afraid to have a personality, not afraid to have crazy hair and act silly and just show how much they're enjoying the game.
Absolutely, bro.
I need more of those in every sport, but especially in baseball.
I need that. It's so crucial to have those kids see these guys like Fernando, and Juan and Acuna and Frankie Lindor and I wouldn't even put Judge in that, like Javi Baez. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I think Judge is one of those American guys. But if you look at the guys you're talking about
I was going to say, yeah, let's be perfectly clear. It's all Latin, Hispanic players.
All Hispanic players. And then there's
Latin,
there's some black guys, there's some black players who are doing that in their own way too. So I say like a Tim Anderson. I think McCutcheon for a long time has been like that guy that's
ahead
just
of his time. Really?
way ahead of his time. He had the locks and everything. Like
Yeah.
he looked like a pirate. That's what he looked like. I used
And
to tell people
forget
that.
this year with the chest hair out and everything.
Yes.
Oh, it was
I
so
forget the
good.
name of his alter ego. What was the ego?
Oh,
It was
I don't
another.
remember.
I forget. He had a guy like that was like his persona was another
Yeah.
guy. He had like he had the chest hair out and everything with the chains.
Yeah, it was the
Incredible.
best.
And even like Cespedes for a little bit too. Like
Yeah.
Cespedes has like the multiple chains out with the green sleeve.
Puig, I'm down
Puig.
with I'm down.
Absolutely.
Give me dudes with a little sauce. That's why I love Devi on the Yankees. Like, dude
Yep.
has sauce. He has blue hair. He wears chains.
Exactly.
He's got fire. Like, and again, these are entirely Hispanic players we're talking
Yes.
about for the most
Because they
part.
just have a sauce. They have a natural sauce for the game
Yes.
and a feel for being cool and doing things cool.
Not for
that a lot-
nothing. And it's like there, like they talk about soccer is the beautiful game. It's always referred to as a beautiful game because like it just gets played everywhere and the passion is there and whatever. But it's for baseball, it's like that in these places too, where these
Absolutely.
dudes come from. Like it is just you play just because you love it and also because it's a way out.
Yes.
And like
Only
what
way out.
you love something more than it being, like the thing that got you to unforeseen places. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
There's just such an enthusiasm for the game, and it gets muddied here by rules and money and everything. Whatever. We're not going to get all into that, but
well, unwritten rules and the game being like church and national pastime
and even like sponsors and whatever. And by the way, in this era, sponsors love dudes like Acuna and Tatis. Okay,
they know what sells.
They're lining up to sign up those guys.
Yes.
So yeah, that's what I want to see more dudes like that in the league for sure. All right, what's next? What do you got? Leave it, love it, leave it, more of it. What do we want?
So for me, what I want to actually leave in 2021.
Leave in 2020.
Leave in 2020 is let's leave gray basketball jerseys.
Oh, that's interesting.
So check me out, right? And I know the Nets have one. It's such a weird color on court to me. I always think of gray as like baseball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Your away uniform.
Yeah, like I love that the NBA has all these jerseys. And of course, if you didn't hear, go listen to the Jersey podcast that we did a while back.
The bracket.
And for me, like the gray is nice, but I think there's too many teams with it now to me.
Yeah.
Before there was like a nice mix of like that team has gray and maybe 3 teams have gray. Now everyone has gray now. And it's just and even the Nets gray, like I would even leave that there too. Like leave it in 2020 and let's just roll with these New Jersey throwbacks. Like wear that every day if you wanted to too. But yeah, I would leave that there. And then speaking of jerseys, like a little bit of me once in 2021, I would love an alternate Yankee jersey, man.
Oh, that's great.
I would love an alternate.
I'm down with that.
I'm not saying
100%.
you gotta wear it every day or anything like that, but like a nice blue top or like
I love the blue top.
Or like
give me that
hat.
all day.
Like I like the NY hat, but like if you told me we did like if we did like a gray, the gray jersey with like the Yankees script across, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Fine with that. Or even like a blue jersey with like the top hat logo.
Oh, I love that.
That's my favorite logo. My favorite Yankee logo is the top hat logo.
Yeah.
Baseball, if you put that on the chest instead of the NY on the blue jersey, I'm fine with that. I think that would go.
I'm with it.
But I think they're not gonna do it too. That's the tough part. They're gonna keep it like this like they have for 100 years now. But man, I would love it. Because even like look at the teams that are like the classic teams in all of these leagues, and they're even like kind of getting different with like the Green Bay Packers have the white pants that they wear with the white jersey. And this is a classic jersey. They've been around for 100 years.
They are as classic as a football team gets.
Absolutely. And they even said, all right, we got the white jersey. Let's just give them the white pants with it too.
Yep.
And I think it's one of their better looks. They wore it at home one time. I was like, wow, that's nice. Like that looks
It's
good.
clean.
It's clean. And so for me, like I would love to see a Yankee, like I said, wear it on a Sunday, wear it on during the weekday games, whatever you want to do. But you don't gotta wear it every day. Of course, the classic pinstripe is classic. You're never gonna get rid of that. It's just it would be nice to throw in something cool. Like we just haven't seen it before.
I agree. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's leave athletes streaming on Twitch in 2020.
Yeah, buddy.
I don't need you to get off the field or the court and go flip open your little travel briefcase that's got your PS5 tucked in it and get on Twitch and ask people and thank them for their Twitch Prime subs and all this nonsense.
Prime
Okay?
subs.
Leave it to the gamers. There are people that do this for a living. Let them do it. You know where I want to see you? On the court. I don't mean to be a shut up and dribble person. That's not what I'm trying to say. But what I'm trying to say is you don't have to do everything. And then when you got dudes like Juju Smith-Schuster that are worrying more about their Twitch following than what's going on the field or with their team, this is becoming a problem. So for both the sake of performance on the field and also just because like we don't need it. Now we're getting into excess. Like this is excess access. That's what's happening.
Alliteration just now too.
There you go. I don't need this much access. I don't need to see you playing Call of Duty with your boys at 2 a.m. I don't care. Just leave it off of Twitch. Go play Call of Duty with your boys. It's fine. Just don't be on Twitch with it. So we could leave that in 2020. I don't need to see Kyle Kuzma playing Warzone. I'm good. Or Ben Simmons and all that. Something I want to see more recently retired or even current players in the broadcast booth.
Yep.
This is something the UFC does flawlessly. They put like Daniel Cormier still fighting back when he was still fighting. I don't think he still fights anymore, but back when he was still fighting, or they'll put current fighters in. They'll put a light heavyweight doing commentary on a light heavyweight fight.
Yep.
And it'll start rivalries. They'll talk smack, and then it gets back to the dude, and now they got a fight coming up, on the next pay-per-view. I love it. Because again, it's the infusion of new blood and just like it's just fun. It's fun. Like give me like with this NFL playoffs coming up, put someone who got knocked out already that has some personality on the broadcast team for this upcoming, I think it's fun to hear a current player instead of a dude who retired in the 80s and 90s. Like, let me hear what someone who's literally still playing the game talk about the current game.
I think Greg Olsen does it.
He does. Yeah, you're right.
He's good too. He's solid. He's solid, man. Because there's just a lot of guys that just aren't good at it. I remember you were talking about Aqib.
Yes, Aqib is great.
Said he was good. I didn't hear it. I didn't even hear it. I gotta hear him. Is he going to do one of these playoff games or no?
No.
Yeah.
But I like when I get to hear a new voice and someone who, not for nothing, understands. Like, I understand that Hall of Famers understand the game clearly, but like these guys understand what the current athlete is going through.
Yeah.
Because they are the current athlete.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they know these guys, like they're friends, they play against each other, they practice together, like they know these guys. So I like the idea of getting more. It's hard to do during the regular season, obviously, because you have people preparing for their own events. But even just give it to me in the playoffs, like guys who were on teams that got knocked out. Like how fun would it be to have Deshaun Watson? Not even doing the game. Like, you don't have to have them do the game, just like the pre and post. Like, just get Deshaun to do a game pre and post.
It'd be incredible.
It would be fun. It'd be fun to hear what he has. It'd be fun to listen to him break down Aaron Rodgers. Like, you could put him on an NFC broadcast, so he's not even doing commentary on AFC guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
but I would love to hear Deshaun break down Aaron Rodgers' game, and see what he has to say. So I think I'd love to see more of that. I don't know if it'll happen, but I'd like to see more of that. All
Definitely.
right. One last leave it and give me more
One last
from
leave
you.
it. All right. I would love to leave tanking in 2020.
We should have left
Please,
that in 2015.
please, man. You should have left that with Hinkie.
Yeah.
When he was left the Sixers, man. I've never and everybody should know by now. I'm a Jets fan. They were talking. We were in the running for the first pick for a long time, and I get it as fans. I've never been one to want my team to tank. Just never. It just feels nasty, to be honest with you. I think losing is a disease, and when you like cultivate it. Now I understand organizations are like lose with a purpose or lose to win. As a fan, that's not my job to do that. I want to win games and I want to win as much as possible. Um, because I can't control who's on my roster or who's not. I'm at the mercy of my team. So if I'm going to be at the mercy of it, I might as well see them win as much as possible. Um, so yeah, tanking is just so tough, man. Like to me, I know it's easier said to like get past it because when you get the great player that can get you past everything, um, but just still, it feels nasty sometimes, you know. To see what I want to see in 2021, I want to see more Becky Hammon coaching basketball games.
Oh, that's
I
good.
need it. I think she's ready. I think she needs to get a job, and I think she should be coaching, being the head coach of some basketball team in the NBA for sure. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. There's been a lot of people that paid their dues. I think she's the perfect person who paid her dues. She played at a high level. She she's been on the staff for years, coached summer league, coached G League stuff, assistant, started on the backs on the second row. Now she's back up she's right next to Pop. So I think it's just time. Like it's just time. And what time better than now? Like
Yeah.
there's women doing everything now. Everything.
Yep.
I think the Red Sox just hired the first African American woman as a coach today. Like
Wow. There you go.
I think her
Well,
name's
and who was it? The Rays, right? Hired was it the Rays? Who was it?
Marlins.
The Marlins.
Yeah.
Yes, the Marlins. Excuse me,
Yes.
Florida team. The
Yep.
Marlins hired the first woman as a GM, right?
Yeah. So it's like this is the time, man. Like Becky and who better than Becky? That's the thing. Like Becky,
Yep.
if you told me Becky got interviewed for a job and she's a candidate, I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever. Like it wouldn't shock me. Just like the name escapes me for the woman who got named GM. I think it's Kim.
I can't remember.
Forget what her name is. But if you look at her resume,
It's insane.
her resume is incredible.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I'm not calling out any names, but I know an agent who got a job being a GM. You know what I mean? Like I remember that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? Like and I get it. Like it's really about who you know. But I mean, she paid her dues. Her dues.
100%.
But that's what women have to do. They got to go the extra long way because it's like, if I'm going to do this, I got to make sure she's right, or you got to do more than everyone else. And it's a shame, and it's a double standard. But yeah, give me more Becky Hammon coach games. Like
it's a harder road for a woman like Becky Hammon to do what she's done, but that makes me want her that much more because she's had to work twice as hard to get where she is.
Absolutely.
So that means that she's that much of a hard worker.
Do you feel like Pop's gonna slide soon? Just let her it's like this is her job in waiting. It gotta be, right?
It could be. He really loves her.
Yeah.
He's her biggest supporter.
Absolutely.
So I could see that. Yeah, I could see that.
I think, and what better place to do it than San Antonio?
Yeah.
They just do everything before everyone does it.
And they have just such great organizational structure there that they could weather that storm that it's gonna be for no matter who it is that does it. It's gonna be a storm of things and a lot to handle. But they have such stability within the organization. Yeah, they could probably do it.
And I don't know the next time they're gonna win. I don't even know the next time they're gonna get to a conference final. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
because like I just don't know. I don't know, think anyone's ever gonna go there. That's a game changer. And now I'm more than open to be wrong about that. But over the years, they've always drafted their guys, and so
Right.
they're never gonna be bad enough to draft in the top three. But they're never gonna be like good enough now to draft like super late. So they're always gonna be in the middle. But you can get good players there. But I think Becky will be perfect because they're like transitioning. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And she would be the perfect transition to that. So yeah, more Becky Hammon coach games
I like that a lot.
in
That's a good
2021.
one. You brought some good ones, man.
Thank you, dog. I've been ready. Had them locked and
Yeah,
loaded.
you're locked in. I'm gonna say my last leave it. Let's leave late starts to NFL games in
Mm,
2020.
yes, please.
Okay, I don't need the game to start at 8:30 at night. I understand that there are people that live on the western coast of this country that enjoy watching football as well, but they can enjoy it at 4 o'clock as opposed to 5. Okay, I
Yeah.
can't watch the fourth quarter of a game. I got work tomorrow. It's Monday night. I want to watch the end of the game, sometimes the best part of the game, but it's midnight
Mm-hmm.
and I got grown man things to do.
Yes, you
Okay?
do. Yes, you do.
So I can't be doing this.
Nah, bro.
Let's leave that in 2020. I understand. Look, West Coasters, you're gonna have to take one on the chin here, but let's face it, you have certain advantages that the rest of the country doesn't have as well. So you give and you take here.
Yes.
Okay, we have winter. You guys don't have to deal with that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I mean northern, I understand, but there's just certain things that come with where you live in a world that you have to accept. I'd like them to accept that football games start at 4 p.m. on Mondays or
That's true.
4:30 p.m. on Mondays because the 8:30 start kills me. Like I've already eaten dinner. I'm like winding down. My heart rate is slowing. I'm not ready to watch a game at 8:30.
Mm-hmm.
I'm locked in at 7:30. You
Mm-hmm.
start that game at 7:30, you got me.
Yes.
But 8:30 is much too late. I
Absolutely.
barely make it to halftime.
I think I saw. I think I saw a picture of you knocked out on like a Sunday night football game.
100%
Like
happens
just
regularly.
on like it's just late. It's just late, man.
Yeah, we gotta stop. I don't know. I don't get this whole. It's not HBO. It like
It's like HBO. It's
sports,
hilarious.
yo. It's
That's
sports.
funny.
Play them early. I'll tell you what. I love that soccer is on at 10 a.m. I love
Yes,
that. I love waking up and the soccer. Like there are
I love that
people
too.
out west. You know, a football game starts here 1 o'clock. We're talking about 10 a.m. over there. I would love that. I get to wake up and turn the football on. That's great.
Oh, it's great.
And then you
Absolutely
get to wind down at the end of the night. The football ends right around when you're talking about getting ready to go to bed. The timing is excellent.
great.
So
It's
I would like
ideal.
that. I'd like that over here on the East Coast.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
All
I
right. And
love it.
then my last thing that I'd like to see more of in 2021 is loyalty in the NBA.
Yep.
Okay. We just had Giannis sign his extension to stay in Milwaukee, which is crazy in a good way that a guy of his caliber, star power, would stay with a small market team like that and give them the chance to put a team around him. But I want it to not be crazy. I want it to be a thing that happens. And by the way, we've seen it happen too. Give credit where credit is due with a guy like Donovan Mitchell staying in Utah. And look, it's easy to do when teams throw a ton of money at you.
Absolutely.
When they back the truck up, it's easy. But any team can do that. Let's be
Hmm.
honest. You chose to stay with this one. And look, I'm biased. I root for a team who cannot sign free agents. Okay. We need guys to stay.
Yes.
But there's also just something to the story of a guy who's stuck with his team. And there's something to yes, you can put yourself in the history books in a generic history, but there's something to being ingrained in the culture and the history of a certain city
Absolutely.
that is special and that we've lost in the NBA. We've really lost it.
Yeah, I
With
get it.
guys, LeBron bouncing around and guys bouncing around like they do, you don't have these staple dudes
Yeah.
that
No.
you used to have, particularly in the NBA, like an Isaiah Thomas in Detroit.
Hmm.
Like he's a staple. He's a guy. Like you can't build statues to anybody anymore.
No, you can't.
He's gonna leave your team,
He's gonna leave your team for
or
sure.
he left your team. And when you look back at your team's history, like if Dwight Howard stays in Orlando his whole career,
Yeah.
they're building a statue.
Oh,
A hundred
absolutely.
percent, they're building
You
a
don't even got to
statue.
win a chip. You don't got to win a chip at all.
Nope.
You just be one of the greats that play for that team.
They're building a life-size Dwight statue outside of Amway.
And I believe a lot of them look back and tell themselves, "Man, I wish I would have stayed." I think Dwight does that a lot. I think
Oh, he
Dwight looks.
definitely does.
I think Dwight looks back and says, "Man, I could have been. I could have. They would have. They would have built the statue. They would have named the street after me, easily in Orlando.
Yeah.
All in front of Amway, just
Yep.
right there, like Dwight Howard Way or whatever it is."
They would have built a statue of him with the Superman cape on
Mhm.
out in front of that thing, and he would have been able to go by it and look at himself as Superman in bronze. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? Like he would have
absolutely.
been a king. He would, and that's what Giannis is gonna be. Should he not, request a trade, which again is sad that we have to like put that kind of disclaimer on it, but should he not do that and stay in Milwaukee, like everything's going to be Giannis in
Everything,
Milwaukee.
everything, everything.
And that's a great thing. It's got to be a great feeling to be a true hometown hero. It's
Oh,
got
for
to be a
sure.
great feeling.
It's gotta be, because like what, like that Eli Manning vibe is different. It's a different type of vibe, man. It really
Yeah.
like to
To
say,
imagine that, to be like, to walk into a place and not just because you're a superstar of your sport, but to be like a Derek Jeter or an Eli Manning, where you just have the ultimate respect and adoration of your city and it's yours,
hmm hmm absolutely, like,
the NBA is missing that in a big way right now. And I'd like to see
and I
more of
think,
that. I hope Giannis inspires more of that.
oh, for sure, for sure. I mean, I just don't know who is willing to do that now, but just because of the deals, the way the deals are, it's such a short time you have all these guys. Because remember, like if you think about Mike and Scotty, they were signing like 7, 8 year deals, and they weren't getting out of them because the thought of going somewhere was like, nah, why would I go somewhere else? And then the empowerment came where it's like, nah, like you could go, you can control what you want to do because they put such an emphasis on rings
Yep.
that it doesn't create it doesn't allow you to want to be with one team. You always telling yourself, if I don't get a ring, I'm gonna be a failed basketball player. When that's not the case at all. At all. Like they make it seem like, oh man, like I gotta team up with somebody. When you could, like, for years when we were growing up, Vince Carter was Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
Vince Carter was Toronto. Tracy was Orlando. AI was Philly. Um, Chris Webber was in SAC. Uh, Kobe was in LA. Like there was always some. Dirk was in Dallas. Like
Yep.
Reggie was in Indiana.
Yeah, like imagine being Reggie in Indiana or Dirk in Dallas. Like,
Yes.
and not for nothing, AI is a testament to the fact that you don't have to stay there necessarily forever,
Yeah.
but long enough to and give them your all. Like let the city feel like you gave them a real shot
Mm-hmm.
to have your back,
Yes. Absolutely.
That's where I think fans feel like they get stabbed in the back by a player. And I understand the player has to do what they think is best for them, whatever, but it's fair for a fan to feel stabbed in the back when they have supported you with undying support.
Yeah.
And there are fan bases out there that will look past everything and just love that player. They're not like, it's not like New York where they'll boo you and cheer you and boo you. They cheer you no matter what. You could go 0 for 15. They're still going to cheer you and chant MVP.
Yeah.
And the guy leaves. That's a slap.
And I don't even know if, like you said, I don't think you gotta be there for 10 years.
Nope.
Like if you have a solid, so like Darrell Revis, right? I love Darrell.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the best Jets of all time, easily, and he will go down as that. We don't even give his number out anymore because we're gonna retire that thing. He played. He had maybe what 4 great seasons with us, and he played with us from 2000 from '07. I want to say he got drafted in '07. So he played like 7 years with us, minus the time he came back. So he came back in 2015. I think he played another 2. So he played 8 years with us, 9 years with the Jets, and he's beloved, beloved. And he went and won a Super Bowl with the Pats, and
Yeah.
we still love him. Like we love him, even though he went and won with the Patriots. So it's like
It
those.
does. You're right. It just takes a good like chunk of time where you gave your all and you had the cities back as much as they had yours.
J Kidd for me. J Kidd with
Yep.
the Nets is like he actually inspired a whole generation of tri-state basketball players who were like, like the Knicks they weren't doing it for me, but this Nets team was crazy. And like they play in New Jersey, and I don't know any my aunt lives out in Jersey, so we used to go to games. Like that's what these New Yorkers would do. Like they would always follow the Nets from a second level. Like, that's my like I'll see what they're doing.
Right.
But you couldn't turn away from that team. He was here for like 8 years, 7 years, and the way he axed out, where like I'm not playing, I have a migraine. Like, I don't feel like playing no more. He just didn't feel like playing basketball for the Nets no more, and it was nasty how he left. We retired his jersey because you can't deny the 2 trips to the finals. You can't deny his Hall of Fame play. The way he created like symphonies on the court with like pass and stuff, he was electric to watch. So like it just takes 7 years of great basketball play, and then you can ask out, and then they'll still love you.
They
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They still love you, man.
So
So
that's what I want to. I want to see that more in the NBA. I want to see guys give a city a chance. That's really what I want to see. I want to see guys give these smaller cities a chance. Give them a chance to be your home. Give them a chance to give these these teams a chance to try and build something around you. I understand there are small teams that never try to be that.
yeah,
Never try to build go for it like Milwaukee has and kind of mortgage the future to give you the present.
yeah.
But at least give them the shot to do it. Like Giannis gave them the shot. He gave them the ultimatum. He said, look, you got to go get me some more talent.
Mm-hmm.
And they went out and they did it.
Yeah.
And he said, all right, cool. And he rewarded their show of good faith with one of his own.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm asking for.
You know who I think could be, and I don't know how you feel about this, but you know who I think could be the next Giannis, Steph, those guys who are just lifelong things? And it's interesting to think about, but I think Zion can be. I really do.
Yeah.
I think he has I think that team will do whatever it takes to keep him around.
I think him and Ja. I think Memphis will do whatever it takes to keep Ja in town too.
Absolutely. I think they'll do whatever it takes.
And Memphis has spent money in the past.
Yeah, they have. They have. And
so,
and I wonder what New Orleans, because I honestly believe like New Orleans is very similar to Milwaukee, and he has people, the league, it wouldn't shock me that the league is looking at Zion like, yo, listen, we need somebody after Bron. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Luka could be the same guy as well.
Yeah.
But I don't think people don't want to leave Dallas. Mark Cuban's just really good down there where he's always going to spend money. He's always going to try. And Dallas is a good city to live in.
It's a good city, yeah.
It's a good city, and he can make a lot of money down there, and it's a big city, and he does everything for them. It's very much like Jerry Jones. That's really what it is. Mm-hmm. Like he does everything for them. Their locker room is immaculate.
Except they don't want to pay this man Dakota. We won't even talk about that.
I know. What? It's crazy, man. Listen, I'll take him on my team any day.
Yeah, right. But that's all we got for this episode. First episode of 2021. What episode are we on now? Number 11?
Last week was number 11.
Number 11. So we're on 12 now.
12 right now.
12. Who do we got? Number 12. I mean,
Tom?
I was going to say, is this the Tom episode?
I think it might be the Tom episode or Dwight.
If it's definitely not the Dwight episode. Okay, because the Dwight episode, if it's the Dwight episode, then we have to crash and burn at the end. and we have to go in 50 different directions at the end. If it's a Tom episode, it means we finished strong.
Yes.
So I'm going to go with this has been the Tom episode. This has been the Tom Brady, the TB12 episode of your
second
favorite sports podcast. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, and go follow us at Second Favorite Sports. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Peace.